Clarksville. Second half coming up between Sacramento and the DC Eagles. With Sacramento ahead 5-2-32. DC yet to score. Looking in dire straits here. The Suns moving from left to right. From the commentary box, a kick in down the forward line, looking to go on the attack again, and they are. The hand pass, though, is errant, and it'll spill out over across the line. As, let's see, number 32, I believe, or 38, I think that was Senecal. No. Number 14, Aaron Schaefer, was a little bit overzealous, thinking she could keep that ball in. Peter Holden back with us on the commentary. As the ball comes back down, Rukowski taps it down, and a little bit of a hesitation move right there, and a kick goes forward again, and taking another strong mark right there again is number 5, Susan Cadman. Boy, she has really dominated play. She has 2 goals to her name, now lining up for a third. And she runs up to the woman on the mark, kicks it high, deep, looks like it may sail through, and it's strongly marked right at the goal square and kicked through for a goal.
I think that's Danielson who's done that.
Yes, right, that's exactly right. Elizabeth Danielson, Peter, as we welcome him back to the broadcast. Danielson has kicked a goal, and now the Suns move out. They are ahead now 4-2.
No, it should be 6-2.
6-2, that's right, 6-2-38. 6-2-38 now.
To no score, so
yes.
38-0. Sacramento leading the DC Eagles. For those that just joined us, the Sacramento combination are joined by players from the Montreal Angels and the Wisconsin Wombats as part of their side. Of course, the DC Eagles, they got players from the Des Moines Roosters and the Boston Demons joining them. Umpire blows the whistle and says the ball is going nowhere. We'll call for a ball up, and that's where we set ourselves. The ruck there, the ruck there is Rukowski for the Lady Suns. Runs it down, trying to go through there was Bunker. Now they move it towards the half-forward flank. Awkward bouncing football. Let's see if they can get a clear possession out of this. Dugan trying to get in there for the DC Eagles. It moved out towards the wing position. Currently on the left there by Cadman, but the kick was smothered. Close towards the boundary line. Looks like it's Worrell who tried to kick it up the line. Didn't go too far. I'll send it back from whence it came. And a bit of ping pong, and I thought that was the full 15. The umpire said no, it wasn't.
We rarely see that, but you know, one of the funny things is, Peter, here right behind the goals, we've got that cornfield, bringing to mind the movie Field of Dreams, but this field has been a field of nightmares for some of these teams that have just been blown off the park, and so that trend is continuing now with DC not being able to score a whole scoreless half, and they don't look any closer to putting any points on the board, do they?
And being caught there as well, who tries to get up. Everyone thought it was going to be a ball up, and they just had to wait there for a moment. Yes, that cornfield there. If you see Kevin Costa walk out of there, run. As we wait to reset play here, Rukowski to go for the ruck again for the Sacramento Suns. Does well. Tackle laid on by Worrell. Ball hit the deck. See if they can try and squeeze it out between centre and centre half forward here for the Sacramento Suns. And we'll call for another ball up. The Suns leading by 38 points.
By 38, so trying to continue their dominance. Rukowski gets the tap down. DC has it. They've got a long, long way to go to try and get in their forward 50. As kicking the ball forward there is Kendall Jennings. Now coming on the wing, taken back by Sacramento. A kick down into their forward 50 again. Ball spills to ground, and a kick for goal coming up. Down toward the forward pocket. DC has it, trying to get out of trouble. As a big contest develops, going to ground, a kick to dribbler toward the goal, and skipped through, and no, not quite. And punched over the line, I believe, for a behind. So Sacramento with another score. Only 1 point, though, for our American viewers and listeners watching. So moving out now to 39 points. That's the advantage Sacramento has over DC, 39-0. As 6-3 plays 0, 6 goals, 3 behinds for the Sacramento Lady Suns. As we're going to have a ball up now, I believe. Umpire will ball it up just across the 50-meter arc in the DC forward 50, or the Sacramento forward 50, I beg your pardon. Hand pass out of that zone. Now a soccering kick toward the wing, grabbed by Sacramento. And now a kick and almost a mark taken, but no, ball rolling to ground. And DC trying to move it, getting up from the pile there, DC player, but it's stolen right back from Sacramento. Now a kick toward the center, and another strong mark taken. Boy, I'm getting tired of saying this. Another strong mark taken there, and taken by Elizabeth Danielson. the full forward who will have a shot on goal, Peter. And the run up and the kick hooks it left, but also taking a mark down there. Boy, the lucky break for the Suns, as a player deep in the forward pocket has taken a mark. Can't see her number, we're a long, long way away. A hand pass now out there, an errant hand pass, falls to ground, and DC is going to come away with the ball for the moment, but no, they're going to get a free kick. So a hand pass away from someone on a really tight angle with the goal. And let's see, who has the free kick there? DC will have the free kick very deep in their defensive 50. So again, a long, long way to go. Try and get a point on the board, or points on the board in this case. Ball stolen back by Sacramento. Here is a kick toward the center, now knocked away. DC trying to emerge with it. Can't, looks like a pile up, Peter.
And that's Worrell that's on the bottom of that deck, and the umpire takes the football back and will reset play. 38-0, Sacramento leading DC, and Sacramento kicking into the breeze in this second half. Here's a hurried snap out of the pack, will go away to the right-hand side and register as 1 point. So 39-0, Sacramento leading DC Eagles 39-0 here on Go Live Sportscast.
And actually looks like a behind was just paid by the umpire, so it would now be 40 to nothing.
Have you got 40 there, have
I've
you?
got 40,
sorry.
okay.
40.
So I have got, let's see.
Yep, you're right, 40.
Okay, so 40 to nothing, kick now down toward the goal square, and yet another behind has been registered. So now 41, just when we said it's 41 nothing, Sacramento over DC.
So another point there to the scoreboard. I'll just double check that with the official score while you
Sure,
carry on.
absolutely. All right, so on the kick in now, DC kicks it wide, almost marked by Sacramento on the cutoff. Now, ball loose to Sacramento, down in the forward pocket, quick snap, and a muffed mark by DC, and a struggle for the ball, a kick, and DC having it deep in their own territory. Now, moving toward it is Sacramento, ball taken to ground again. Umpire is going to have a ball up in this case.
And just got to confirm it's 40, so
It's 40.
It should be 4 behinds only there. So
Okay.
40-0, just had that confirmed. 40-0, Sacramento leading DC as the ball is thrown up in the air, and away we go again, waiting on the outside of the pack as Lau. They couldn't quite get it out to her. Now it's all wrapped up, and the umpire says that's holding the football, and it'll be a free kick going the way of the Sacramento Suns. They have the ball right up against the boundary line, tight angle, on the right boot, going high towards the goal square. Danielson in the middle of the pack, ball got out the back, close to the right-hand point post, will go over the boundary line and out of bounds and not register as a score. So we'll have a throw-in deep in that forward pocket.
And just in case for American viewers who are watching or unfamiliar with the game, when we're saying 6-4 plays 6-4-40 plays 0, 6 goals, which count as 6 points each, 4 behinds, 1 point each. Ball spills out, Sacramento having the ball deep in its own forward 50, and a kick goes out, mark not taken, almost taken, as the ball rolling toward the boundary line on the far end of the field. Hand pass back, looking for a hit a target with a kick, end over end kick, almost mark off hands. Sacramento with the ball. They have a shot for their 7th goal. Ball tied up and goes to ground. Umpire says give it to me for another ball up, deep inside the forward 50.
So we'll throw the ball up and away we go again. It's just bouncing around. Let's see who can try and get their hands on the footy. Clean. Now it's shoveled through for a minor score. 41-0. That's Sacramento 41, DC Eagles 0.
6-5-41 plays 0. DC will kick it in. And out it goes, but nothing but Suns out there, and it's easily marked. An intercept mark there taken by a Suns player. As Sacramento will set up an attack again. This time she's going to shoot for goal. A kick forward, off hands, dribbling toward the goal line. Now out by the forward pocket. Big tangle of players. Now a kick toward the boundary line. It's skittering around out there, and a big pileup goes on. And DC trying to get a hold of it. Can't look like a push in the back, not called. Wrestling with it is number 12, Kendall Jennings, trying to rip the ball away into her own hands, but the umpire says ball up. Tapped down by DC, ball rolling around out there. Sacramento now with control. And we're going to have another ball up as the scrap is on here as both teams try and fight for possession. Safely, you can say that Sacramento will win this one and trying to add to their score. Ball wrestled away right now, and another kick is coming up toward goal, and that is going to be through. Can't quite see who kicked that one, but nonetheless, Sacramento moves ahead now 47-0 there.
That was Caroline Leduc by the look of it.
Was it Leduc?
Yes. who, of course, as we mentioned earlier, played with East Fremantle in the WAWFL reserves, and she's hoping to get back across for another American summer, Australian winter.
I would not blame her. East Fremantle is a beautiful part of the world. For those of you who haven't been down there, very similar to Long Beach outside of Los Angeles, which is a major port city, but absolutely beautiful there. Fremantle is one of the most progressively fun towns in all of Australia. That you can't go down there and not see a whole bunch of live music, and they have a great maritime museum, and even they have offered tours of the prison down there, Peter.
As the ball is thrown up in the air, tap forward, here comes Valerie Moreau, receives the football, decides to sell the candy, then gets on the right boot, sticks very close towards the boundary line, and a mark being taken there by Schaefer. Erin Schaefer now goes up along the wing position to go towards the half-forward flank. Sliding in there is Sequeira, and the umpire comes in and blows the whistle and says, we'll call for a ball up. Fremantle, a lovely place, but I'm being biased, I say Melbourne's even better.
Oh, Melbourne is fantastic. If I had a choice of living in Australia, either in two cities, it would be either Melbourne or Fremantle. Absolutely. By the way, you use, Peter, one of the great expressions in Australian football for those American viewers who haven't seen it. Selling candy. What we call that in America would be a fake, but selling candy.
As the ball is wide and will go out of bounds and almost to our commentary position.
Someone needs to tell Samantha Worrell that I'm not playing on the team here. I almost was going to mark that.
I was going to say, I shouldn't have put my hands up, just say, kick it to me.
Almost. She got a little bit overzealous as the ball was out of bounds. She even kicked it out of bounds.
Yes. As we'll wait for the ball to be thrown back into play, we'll reset and start again. At the moment, the scoreboard reading, I think, is at 41-0, leading Sacramento over the DC Eagles. It's all locked in there. Good tackle being laid on by Sequeira on Roll, and we'll reset play one more time.
Here we go again as number 18 for the Suns, Larissa Adrushin, is working as a ruck woman. And Jennings trying to get loose, can't. She's taken. She is holding the ball. Really strong tackle there by Schaefer, and Schaefer will have the free kick. Reminds me of the old New York Mets telecast with Schaefer beer. Schaefer is the one beer to have when you're having more than one. Schaefer kicks this one high and deep inside the forward 50. Not marked, ball spills to ground. Taken now by DC, held aloft. And coming out with the ball and kicking it toward the center. DC again goes right through the legs of a Sacramento Flare like an infielder trying to take a ground ball. And a mark almost taken, but not in the forward 50 for Sacramento. They're on the move though, have the ball inside the arc, kick toward goal, and will it get through? I believe it does, and that should be another goal on the board for Sacramento, and indeed it is a goal. 8th goal of the match for Sacramento as they move ahead now by the score of 53-0. 8 goals, 5. 8 goals, 5 plays, nada.
That goal kicked by Valerie Moreau. As we said earlier, she played for the Essendon VFL women's team this year in the VFL women's competition back in Australia. Prior to that, she played a year for the Eastern Devils out of Mulgrave Reserve. And it's ironic that she plays for Essendon because the nickname of their home ground is Windy Hill.
Oh, yeah. That is ironic. One of the clubs I actually have not visited in Australia, have not been out that way.
As the ball is in the middle of the ground, they fight hard for it. Giving off the hand pass there was blocked. It went backwards. Now trying to get ahead over the ball as Meta did well. Tapped it a few metres forward, only for it to be intercepted. Now they're trying to get a hurry kick out of there. The Sacramento Suns to Moreau. Moreau's got it dancing around and she does well. Kicks up the line. One hand on it, 2 hands. Couldn't quite control it. Schaefer, she went to ground. Ball taken out of there by Sequeira, who kicks it towards the true centre half forward position. Chasing after the ball is Dugan. She gets knocked over. Umpire circling. What's he going to decide here? He says, I'll call for a ball up and we'll reset play. Of course, a ball up, in other words, in basketball terms, is a jump ball.
That's right, exactly. And you know, Peter, that brings to mind that the AFL has recruited a lot of North American NCAA men's basketball players to play the position